Hello and welcome to the Holiday Impact, the podcast that reminds you that you have the power to make a difference. I'm your host, Shantae Holiday, and each week we'll explore the mindset, habits, and strategies that will help you overcome obstacles, seize opportunities, and create a positive impact in your life and in your business. Joining me today is Tiffini. Tiffini, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. If you don't mind, could you please introduce yourself and what you do for the people watching?
Yes, thank you. My name is Tiffini, and Tiffini Watts, by the way. What I do is I help parents and families get qualified for home ownership in the next 6 to 8 months by cleaning up their credit profile, helping them get their credit financial profile in order, making their profile more attractive to lenders, mortgage lenders, banks, or anybody else that typically pull their credit to see if they qualify for home ownership. So I help them rebuild their portfolio pretty much and get them qualified for home ownership in 6 to 8 months.
Is there a particular state where you usually work in to help your clients?
I'm bonded in the state of Arkansas. So
Gotcha.
I'm licensed and bonded in the state of Arkansas. I do have a team that helps me. So I'm blessed to have a wonderful team that helps me get my clients qualified.
I love that. Oh, gotcha. Well, congratulations on your current success, right?
Yeah.
I know you're a business owner now, but it
Mhm.
wasn't always that way, right?
No.
So what was the moment where you were like, I can't work for nobody else no more. I got to try doing it by myself.
Well, it's a lot. So I've worked since I was 16. I'm 42. Um, and since 2019, I have not worked for anyone. But up until then, it was just, I got tired of having to ask permission
Mm.
to spend time with my family. You know, if the family wanted to go on vacation, it had to be around when I had available PTO. Or, if I got sick or one of my kids got sick, I couldn't just take off without permission from the supervisor. Um, and it had got to the point where if you wanted a good job, you had to work 7 to 3 or 8 to 4. The problem with that is we have kids that have to go to school and they can't be dropped off before 7 o'clock. So I had to hire someone to pick the kids up and drop them off at school and pick them up after school and bring them home because I didn't have the time to do it. And my husband couldn't do it either. So, not only that, my commute to work was like 45 minutes one way.
Mm.
And the 8 o'clock traffic, that could be an hour or more just to go one way. And the gas, was astronomical. It was a lot of money to just get back and forth to work. So my paychecks was what, maybe $700 every 2 weeks. 200 of it was going on gas. And then another 200 was going on the nanny who was picking the kids up from school and dropping them off. So now you see how much money I'm working with for 2 weeks.
The negatives.
Right. And then I still have bills and the kids still have to eat. So it was ridiculous. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I would actually save money taking the kids to school myself and staying home. So that's why I chose to and I was also very blessed um, to have a support system that allowed me to be able to do that. So I talked to my husband, we discussed it, and he was like, you know what? You have the potential to make so much money from home, working your own business,
Right.
And saving money. So that was really the reason why I started pursuing something from home.
Gotcha. And then, so how do you end up balancing everything though? Because now you're able to work from home, but you still have your family and your kids. And then you have to take care of yourself for self-care, or else you're not going to be good for anyone else. So what is your secret right now for doing the balancing act?
Well, So I have 3 kids. I have 5 kids total.
Right.
Okay. 2 of them are adults,
Okay.
25 and 21. They are out and on their own. Then I have a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and I have a 2-year-old.
Okay.
So my secret was waiting a very long time to have another baby. Okay. So no, seriously, because when I'm very busy with work, I can just get the teenagers to get the 2-year-old. You see what I'm saying? And then they can get her out of the way so I can focus on working. Um, then so it's kind of a built-in system that kind of just works that way. But when they're at school, I just have to there's things that I do with the 2-year-old that kind of helps her to, put her in her little circle or in her room, and sometimes she just sits in my lap while I work. It's just really no system there. Everybody understands that I'm a stay-at-home mom, and most people respect that and understand it. Um, my husband doesn't work on Friday evenings and Saturday evenings. So a lot of times on Fridays or Saturdays, if I want time just for me, I will take some time on those days to maybe just go away and hang out with someone or whatever I want to do. I've also implemented, and this is something new that I've started doing, midday break, midweek break, sorry, a midweek break. I used to work every day, except Sunday. And then I noticed it was very stressful.
Very.
So now I take Wednesdays. Wednesdays is self-development. If I need to speak to my coaches, if I need to regroup, if I need to strategize, if I need to get content created, if I need to do something, I do it on Wednesdays. I don't do any customer contact on Wednesdays. I don't deal with any customers. I don't talk to anyone, only coaches, only people that are helping
Pouring
me.
into you.
Right. Pouring into me. Exactly.
Instead of you pouring into everybody else every single day of the week.
So I had to take that day in the middle of the week to just reset. And so on Wednesdays, I just call it my Wellness Wednesday. And I don't do anything. If I don't want to talk to coaches, I don't talk to coaches. I just catch up on my soap operas. I have a drink. I just sit in the backyard. It's just my day, so.
And you deserve that though. So I'm glad you take that time out for yourself. And how fast did it take for you to grow? Because I'm noticing that your clients love you and you don't have a problem with getting leads or clients. So like, one, how long did it take you to grow? And then 2, what marketing strategies would you suggest for the next person that's battling that struggle of just getting even one client a week?
Well, number one, I am what they call a serial entrepreneur. Yeah. So a lot of the people that follow me already know that I'm always going to have something going on. So they're really just kind of watching, like, okay, what is she doing now? What is she doing now? At one point, I had 7 businesses. And 7 at one time.
Okay.
What made me settle down with that, and focus on one was nobody really knew what I did. They were like,
they just knew you were busy.
Exactly. They just knew I was busy, but no one really knew what I did. So I decided to focus on one thing. That's number one. That's a strategy or a tip that I would give people. Focus on one thing. Don't try to do, you can be a travel agent. I'm just saying the things I was doing. You can be a travel agent. You can have legal shield. You can do credit repair. You can do drop shipping. You can do all of those things. But if you're doing all of those things, you really don't have time to focus on building and growing those things. Right. Because if you spend an hour doing drop shipping and an hour doing this and an hour, there's only 24 hours in a day. It's always going to only be 24 hours in a day, and you're going to have to sleep. And you have family, so you're going to have to take time for your family. So you're looking at a window of maybe 6 hours that you really have to work. Exactly. And if you're spending all this time doing all these different things, you really can't scale up or grow. So my first thing I did was focus on one thing. I focused on the thing that I focused on, credit repair, because number one, I'm a middle-aged woman. And at the age of around 36, I realized that I was absolutely childish. I'm 36 years old with a horrible credit score. That's so childish to me, right? So I'm like, what have you been doing with your life for 36 years and you can't even go and apply for a loan? You can't get a home. You can't do anything. Your score is in the low 500s. And the reason it became a thing, because my husband and I were looking at a new home. And I knew I could not even contribute because my score was like 500. What am I going to do with a 500 credit score? So now he has to pretty much do everything on his own. We're a team, we're a partnership. And I felt very ashamed that I could not help him in this process. The only thing I could do was say, yeah, I like that house. You know,
it is pretty.
Yeah, that's a pretty house, but I can't help with anything else, you know? And so I was like, man, this is really, really childish. Like, why didn't I do something different? So I started working on me. Then I realized that there are a lot of people in my shoes. There are a lot of families who, number one, don't even know how their credit got where it was. They don't know anything about their credit. And I just felt like it was just time for me to branch out and help others that were just like me. And so that's kind of what I just started focusing on, just that. And then I wasn't getting leads at first.
At least you're honest.
I wasn't. I'm just going to be honest with you. I branched out on my own with this company in December of 2022. You know how when, again, I had 7 businesses, and so I was so used to not really having a successful business.
Right.
Because I had so many that I was focusing on, none of them were really successful.
Right.
I'd make a few hundred here, or maybe a few hundred there, but never really more than $500 in a business. So I really had that imposter syndrome.
Okay.
And I was afraid to really just talk to people, because I was like, they're gonna be like, you know, here we go. She's doing something new. What are you doing now? You know? And so I was like, I was afraid. I was afraid to talk to people. I was afraid to even be on camera. I didn't want to be on the phone. Finally, I reached out to a team of marketers who promised to get me some leads. They said, hey, if you work with us, we'll help you. We'll get you some leads. We'll get you some people to talk to. And I'd never done that before. Right. And so I stepped out on faith.
Right.
Everything I do is faith-based. I pray a lot. I truly believe in God. So I prayed about it, and I connected and partnered with this marketing team. Right. And this was around the late December, and within a month I had over 100 people to talk to.
That's crazy.
But I was
How
just
many did you close?
I didn't close a whole bunch of them, because again, I was overwhelmed. I was new, and I was still scared.
Okay.
I didn't really know what to say. I was like, God, what am I supposed to say to these people? Like, and I kind of just was talking, and I may have closed maybe a couple of them, maybe 2 or 3. Right. Of 125 people in 1 month, I closed 2 or 3. I'm being honest.
You were getting your feet wet though. So I get it.
Yeah, I'm just being 100% transparent. And this is why I'm telling this story the way I am, because it got better. So in the first month after hiring my marketing team, I may have closed 2 people, even though I had over 100 leads. That's because I wasn't confident. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to approach these complete strangers. I didn't feel qualified to help them. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed? So then I realized what you have to do is realize your weaknesses.
Right.
You have to realize where you need help.
Right.
Don't be discouraged because you don't know what to say. Don't be discouraged because you don't know what to do. Find someone who does. Find someone who knows what to say. Find someone who knows what to do. So I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to get leads. So I found a marketing team that does. I didn't know what to say to people. I didn't know how to talk to people. So I found a sales coach to teach me how to close sales. I invested in myself. My marketing team was not free. I had to pay for them. My sales coach was not free. I had to pay for that. If I wanted to be better, I had to invest in myself and in my business. And I didn't look at it like, oh no, this they're asking too much money. I knew what I wanted to do and I knew where I wanted to take my business. So I didn't, when they said this is what I charge, I didn't blink an eye. I just said, I don't have the money right now, but give me a second.
Exactly.
And within a week or so, I was on their team. But after connecting with my marketing team and getting my leads, connecting with my sales coach and learning how to talk to the people, how to sell and how to close, I went from 1 to 2 sales, 1 to 2, closing 1 to 2, to closing 25 in 1 month.
Yes.
And my program is $500 per person.
Yes.
You do the math.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it was insane. Now, and that was I connected with my sales coach maybe the end of February.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been with my sales coach and my marketing team. I've been with them since December. My sales coach, I've been with him since February. So from February to March, I closed. From February to the end of March, I closed about 25 to 35 people. I now have a team. I now have a client base of almost 50 people since February. So, you know, I didn't even realize how much money I had actually made.
Right.
Because I was so busy pouring into myself and learning how to be the best person, be the most professional person for my clients. I was so focused on bettering myself for my clients that when I looked up, I had made $10,500 in 1 month.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
And I'm like, whoa,
okay.
It's insane, right?
Okay. Come through.
I was so excited. Like at that point, it was like my next conversation with my sales coach was, okay, so now how can I make 20,000?
I was about to say it. I was like, go ahead and say it.
I went from oh no, timid, and am I even qualified to?
Let's see if you can get 25.
How do I make $20,000 now? So
I am praying for you to get to. I'm praying for you to get to your first $50,000 month by June because I feel like you can do it.
I'm excited about it, and so that's another reason why I reached out to you, because I was like, you know what? There's so many people like me who they need, not want, but need to have financial freedom and financial security. If I can show somebody how to make a little extra money a month,
right,
in their home, then hey, why not? So that's why I wanted to do the course. I'm like, let me teach people what I do. Let me teach them how I do what I do. And so I reached out to you. I found you. Now we're connected.
Much love, because you got me for life. Get ready. So, but no, I love how you are so involved in your craft, and stuff there, and how you're so self-aware of what your not best features were before and how you overcome them, and how you're like, you know what, I want to use what I've already overcome to help another person do the same. Because there are a lot of people that I know watching this alone are going to basically have the same emotions to where they need a change. It's no longer optional. And I hope they really listened to you when you said that you had 7 businesses and you decided to sit down one day and say, let me pour into one and pour into me. and that everything started changing from there when you started to, like, the little things that you started to do to pour into yourself, your wellness Wednesdays, you getting your sales coach, you getting a marketing team, and then you actually implementing and executing what you learned. You didn't expect for them to do the work for you.
Right.
You know, you didn't, yeah, because you could have just flipped the table over when you got 100 leads and only closed 2, right? And said, well, I tried.
Yeah.
And
And
gave
not
up.
only that, you know, I pay for my marketing team monthly.
There you go.
And I was like, you know what? I didn't even make enough money the first month to pay for the marketing team.
Right. Right.
And I'm like,
It'd be like that.
you know, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to? I mean, the marketing team did what they were supposed to do, you know? So
Right.
what do I need to do now? Like, I can't just hold them accountable for
Right.
my inability to close out of 100 people, two. I
Right.
could only close 2. That's not their fault. That was my fault for not knowing what to do.
Right.
But my gift or my strength in that moment was recognizing that I didn't know what to do,
Yeah.
recognizing that I was the problem here. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's not them, it's me. I need to know what I need to do. And not only that, now I need to figure out how to fix it.
Right.
Because the marketing team is doing what they're supposed to do. So now I
Right.
need to figure out how, if they give me another 100, how do I close more of these people?
Exactly. At least half, something,
At least
1/3.
half of them, right? So
Something. Because I mean, like, you know, but like I said, it's a matter of the fact that you held yourself accountable to the highest regards and then showed up for the occasion. So I'm just so proud of you, because I know that your students are going to do nothing but succeed if they just listen to what you have to say, right? Because the whole premise of one of my businesses, right, the course in a box and stuff or whatever, is to give like a solid foundation so that way you can go and then add your own history, your life experience, what you've overcome yourself, right? And stuff there. So, because you have such a bright light and it shines. I would have never known that you would have went through any of the obstacles that you shared with us today if you hadn't decided to tell us. So I really appreciate you for that.
so it's my pleasure.
So much.
Um, you also have to know when it's time to scale up.
Mm,
Because when I had, you know, 10 clients, it
right.
was easy for me to dedicate the attention needed to 10 people. When I got to 40 clients, it's
Mm,
like, this is a lot. You know, I'm just one person, you know, so I had to also hire a dispute team to
right.
help me, you know, um, with the disputes.
Right.
So I have a whole team.
Right.
It's not just me. I have a marketing team. I have a sales coach. I have a dispute team. I have customer service. I have an assistant that helps me. So and I'm about to hire another assistant because I'm still scaling.
You deserve it.
So
Absolutely.
it never ends. You
Right.
know, once you reach your goal, because my goal was only $5,000.
Right.
When my sales coach was like, well, how much money do you want to earn? I said, $5,000. He said, well, we're going to do more than $5,000. And
Exactly.
I didn't believe him because I didn't believe. But he said, listen, you don't believe me, and that's okay. But what I need you to do is be a student and be obedient. If I tell you to do something, do that.
All right.
Don't, if I say do it this way, do it that way. This is a guy who's making almost $100,000 a month.
Right.
So if my coach who's making $100,000 a month is saying, if I tell you to say it this way, you need to say it this way. If I tell you to do it this way, you need to do it this way. If you don't, you're not going to see success. So what I'm saying in that is, I told him I wanted to make $5,000. He told me we're going to make you more than that as long as you are coachable.
Right.
And I said, okay, I paid a lot of money for you, so I'm going to be coachable, you know? And
Right.
I did exactly what he told me to do. I exceeded $5,000 in 30 days,
I
you
love
know, just being coachable. So
I
you
love
have to, if you're going to hire someone to mentor you,
Mhm.
what you think works doesn't matter.
Right.
Your coach telling you what to do, who's already successful, what they say do is what matters. You have to be coachable.
Right.
So
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you.
thank you.
Because I know that you're only going to keep growing and stuff there. And I can't, if you're open to it, I can't wait to have you back later for you to tell us about your end of the year growth or something like that. Because Lord have mercy, I'm over here. So, like, I have chills. I'm so excited
Thank
for you.
you.
So
Thank
excited for you to come see where you were before to where you are now. Just from hearing your story alone is absolutely breathtaking. So, before I let you go, is there anything that you would like to close with and things of that nature for the people watching?
um I mean, I've said a lot.
You
I
have,
don't
and
really
I
know
love
what
that.
I don't really know, you know, what else to say besides um just do it. I was one of, you know, I made a mention that I quit working in 2019. I turned in my notice. I haven't worked since August of 2019, a 9 to 5. So it took from August of 2019 to 2023 to have a $10,500 a month. It's not something that, oh, you know, I quit working and, you know, now I'm going to be making $10,000 a month. It doesn't work
Right,
that way. I had to invest in education. I
right,
invested in a course that taught me how to create courses. I invested in a course that taught me how to run a successful credit repair business. I invested in a course that taught me the dispute process and how to do it properly. I invested in a course that taught me the laws and the rules and regulations surrounding the credit repair company, the credit repair industry, rather. I invested in a sales coach. I invested in a marketing team. I invested in, so what the key word you're hearing here is I invested. I invested my time.
right,
I invested my money. I educated myself so that when my clients come to me, they're getting a true professional.
right,
I didn't invest in a college, so I don't have a degree, but I have a lot of knowledge that
right,
I invested in to learn so that I can help. I stand out from my competitors because I know what I know. And
right,
I really trained and studied and learned everything, the ins and outs and all of that about what I'm doing. So if you're going to branch out into any industry, you need to set yourself apart by number one,
knowing
being
your stuff.
know your stuff. You know, people buy from you. They don't, it's a ton of credit repair companies and a ton of realtors, a ton of beauty salons. It's so many. But
Right,
why is someone going to come to you?
right,
What makes you different? What makes you, a lot of people use the same software and program I use,
right,
but I don't have any issues with clients coming to me. I
right,
have people that refer people to me because when they talk to me, they're like, I've never heard anybody break it down that way. I've never heard anybody say it that way. Well, that's because I'm so knowledgeable about what I do
mhm,
that I sound like an educator. I sound like a professor. I don't sound like a business owner that's trying to make you pay $750 to join my program. I
right,
sound like a professor. I sound like I'm teaching you something because I am teaching you what I've already learned. So it's just, you know, people trust that. So I just encourage anyone listening to this to be coachable, be a student first, continue to learn, always pour into yourself, always invest in yourself, take time to recoup, dedicate a day to you to reset. Don't try to do it all. Outsource. I wasn't a guru with marketing. I'm not the best. So I found someone who could do it. I could have learned marketing, but then I'm going to be marketing, coaching, counseling, disputing. No, I'm
Right.
one person. I'm gonna hire a marketing team. I'm gonna hire a dispute team. I'm gonna hire a sales team. I'm gonna hire people to help me.
Right.
It's okay to hire people to help you. You're not
Amen.
Superwoman. You're not Superman. It's okay.
Right. No, y'all listen to her, because being an army of one ain't fun.
It's not.
It's not the way to go. That's how you burn yourself out and end up weak in the knees for no reason.
Absolutely
And so,
no.
but
No.
I really appreciate you joining me today, Tiffini. I don't think you understand just how much I love your light and your joy towards what you do and your passion towards your craft. It shows so much. And I've been in just hospitality, the credit repair industry, just in general for a while now and stuff there. And seeing someone like you is refreshing.
Thank
So
you. Thank
I
you very much.
really wanted to share that with my platform. So if anyone has not known you, and if they're watching this, you know her now, please, Tiffini, make sure to send me all of your social media links and stuff there where people can find you, follow you, invest in you, things of that nature. And then I'm sure they'll have a million questions and stuff there too. So yeah, absolutely. But I hope you have an amazing day with your little ones. I know that you're always busy, so just knowing that you took the time out means everything. Thank you guys so much for joining us today on the Holiday Impact. My name is Shantae Holiday, and I'll see you